Good evening, Wild-Billiam here with you again this week. Thought I'd do something a little different and go a lot of the questions people have being, what belt is this lock? Or where do I find locks? Or those kind of things. So I thought, well, why not take you to the LPUBelts website, which is a great source of information for all things belts, where to get them, how to know one lock's belt from another. So, here we are on the LPUBelts website. There's a lot of information on here. You can see here, you can see yourself. This is my account. So we can, look at belts by the different belt levels. You can, going all the way from white up to black, or you can look at all the belts. So from here, you can do lots of different things. You can put some filters on. You can say, I want to see all the locks from a particular maker, locking mechanism, whatever it might be. Features of the locks, which is kind of neat. That can be like pin types and other things like that. Sidebars, there's kind of information. Whether or not there's content on the lock, that can be images, videos, links to other stuff. So that's always useful to know. And then you can also look and see where it is on your own collection, which I'll get into later. So one of the things I'll show you first is that there's a new feature that's new to me feature, advanced filtering, which is really nice. You can filter by a lot of different locks. Let's say here we'll go to make. We're going to say we're going to look at ABUS. Oops, well, I messed that up. So we need to get rid of that so that we can go back and we'll click add filter. And we're going to say we're going to look at all the ABUS locks that are brown belt. You can add more filters as you want. It's pretty nice to know. So we'll get rid of that. So we can go over here. There's a lot of information over here on the website. Belt requirements is an important thing. People are always asking, how do I submit for a belt? Well, all the information's here on whether how to do it on Discord through the bot or how to do it on Reddit. There's safe locks on here. Something very interesting to me. I haven't really dug into it much, but safe manipulation is a part of Lockpickers United as well. And this ranks those safes by their different categories. Then you've got the leaderboards, which is pretty fun. So you got to click on locks. So you can see here's all of our people by the number of locks they own. You got everybody from Georgia Gem at the top, and you can kind of scroll down through, and it's got them by number. You can look at safe locks manipulated, the number of DANs they have on their black belts. We can see here side picks is at the top, and we got Georgia Gem and some other folks, and then we've got all the recent belts. Forgot to mention that this website works really good on your phone as well. It's pretty neat. You can install it as an app on your phone if you have Google Chrome. I have it installed on mine. So you can also click on a particular user's username and see what locks they have and what content they have for those locks. So we'll go to Dr. Hogmaster here. We can see, he's got all kinds of different things set up in his own collection, but he's got so many owned, somebody picked, one in his wish list, and then he's got a scorecard. And his scorecard's gonna, give you the list of locks that are that he's, picked in this case, or scorecarded in this case, which means he's got a video or something. So if we go and click on his scorecard, we can kind of scroll down through and we can see that some of these have been submitted. That's a link to the lock itself. If you scroll down through here, though, you will find the YouTube icon on some of these, which if you click on that link, it'll take you to the video that's associated with it. Since that's his content, I'm not going to show that on here, but I do want to show you that it does work. You can also look at them by popularity of the lock, particular locks that he's picked and on his scorecard. So we'll go up here to profile again. You can see there's glossaries, there's the Dan system, there's master's projects, lots of information. You can request a new lock, be added to the list to have one of that team take a look at the lock. There's a lot of information there. So we'll go to stats here. There's stats visits to the website, belt distributions on the website. We'll go up here to my username. We can go to my personal lock collection. You can see here that I've got quite a few locks on my list, but I only own 35. I've picked about a little less than half of those. And I have a scorecard as well and a wish list. The wish list is pretty fun because, you know, if you're like, oh, I want to look at this lock in the future, well, it's a good place to store that. So, trying to think of what else here. Is there anything else? So you can go down here and you can go to the wish list, but there's ways you can see if a lock is available for buy on each individual lock listing on the LPULocks website. And there's also lock wikis, and there's some other websites that can give you information about locks on there too. So we'll go from there over to the LPULocks website. So the first thing you're going to come to on the LPULocks website, I'm not logged in, so unfortunately I can't dive too deep on this because I want to log in while I'm on video here just in case something gets shared. But you can do a lot of filtering on here too. You know, you can sort the locks that are in the lock bazaar by the belt levels. You can see here a lot of different locks on here for sale. Let's say you don't necessarily want to buy from a seller because they might be in Europe and the tariff situation is going on right now. So we can go down here and we'll click on the location. We'll say we only want locks that are here in the United States. You can see here, there's a fair number of locks. We're going to click on AMV Garrett, which is Adam, on Discord here in just a second. And you can see, I mean, there's a lot of locks out there. I've bought some myself from CMFXA, but Adam's another person. So if you click on his name here, you can get his seller sheet. It's going to have everything listed on there. The belts, the prices, links to pictures of the locks, all kinds of information. He's got a pretty big list. Won't dive too deeply into that, but you know, there you go. So we can go from there over to the next section in here, which is the speed picks. People that have picked locks very quickly and got some credit for it. We go up here and we're going to sort that by belt. You can see that, you know, people like Mr. Inferno pick locks in 1 second. And Lock Saga has done a couple in 1 and 2 seconds. So really fast picking. And lastly, we'll go over to the Challenge Locks site. So this isn't all the Challenge Locks, but it's the ones that have been submitted to this site. I can tell you who made them, the format. So we'll go down here and I'll pull my listing up. I've only got one, but it's just a good way to show you what can be there. You get pictures of the lock. You get a chance to look at spoilers, which might be, you know, pictures of the pins or the key or something like that. You're also going to see, you know, who's checked it in. In this case, Elroy's Toys has checked mine in. Big shout out to him for volunteering to be my first person to get one. So, and there's also, by locking mechanism, there's actually a couple of disc detainer and lever lock challenge locks, which I think is pretty cool. I'm hoping to find content on those at some point to be able to look those up. So, can't really look into the check-in or adding new ones without being signed in, and so sorry about that. Maybe the next time I have one, we'll check it in together. So, there you go. There's the LPU belts and locks websites. Great sources of information, folks. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out. Otherwise, have a great week and stay away from those locks that are in use, folks. Don't tear up your locks. If you like this, hit like and subscribe.